Hello Year 9 and welcome to your weekly assembly from the week beginning the 25th of January 2021. In today's assembly, I'm going to briefly talk about your weekly check-in. I'm going to give you some strategies and tips on how to manage your workload, and finally some information on options. So in the weekly check-in, I asked you how your week has been and 79 of you responded, which is 30 more than last week, but still not quite enough. And of those responses, the average kind of weekly rating was 3.42 out of 5 stars, which means that we're okay. Generally speaking, we're okay. And that's completely understandable when we're in our third national lockdown in the last 12 months. I'd be surprised if anyone was finding their weeks amazing, but I'm glad that we seem to be ticking along. And even though it's not ideal that we're kind of only 3.5 stars out of 5, at least it might be quite reassuring to know that other people are feeling quite similar to you as well. So your next question was, how are you? And again, I really appreciate your honesty. So 19 of you said you were great, 23 said you were fine, some said you're okay but struggling a bit, and one person was not okay. And again, it's not ideal that we're not all fine or great, but it's probably quite reassuring to know that other people are feeling the same way as you. So if you had a bit of a tough week last week, please get in touch with us and let us know. We can help you, we can come up with strategies to support you. How much work did you manage to do? So 27 of you said 5 lessons each day, then 23 for 4 lessons, 19 for 3, and so on. And what this tells me is that some of you are absolutely smashing it, but a lot of us are finding it quite tricky to get the amount of work done and to be disciplined. And again, that's to be expected. This is a really tough time, and it's really tricky to follow your timetable exactly to the mark. So what I'll do in a few slides' time is give you some strategies for how you can manage your workload, how you can prioritise things, and what you can do moving forwards. Have you joined any live lessons? 57 of you said yes and 22 said no. I don't know if that's representative of the whole year group, but what I would say is if you are someone that's struggling to complete all your work, try to join the live lessons if you are able to. Generally speaking, the teacher will probably talk to you for about 10 or 15 minutes about what the lesson's actually about and what they want you to do, and then you'll probably be working independently for the rest of the lesson. Just generally speaking, that obviously won't be the case for all of them. So if you're thinking, I'm looking at the PowerPoints and I'm not really understanding what I'm doing, please join the live lessons. Just to see, it might help. In fact, I'm fairly certain it would help. Okay, so I asked you what you had been proud of this week, and I said it didn't have to be about work, but obviously it could be, and I loved some of your answers. So I'm just going to put some up here. But yeah, finally going into an online class, a massive step, because I know a lot of us have anxiety about that. It's really not that scary once you're there, I promise. I'm proud about the artwork I did. I cooked a meal for my family. I'm proud of just being able to do as much work as I am. And again, that sounds like a small thing to that person just being able to, but that's a massive deal. That person's clearly trying their best. The amount of work I've managed to do, again, finishing every lesson. Someone's read a 752-page book in 4 days. Some more over here. Someone's run a half marathon with their dad, which is amazing. Some lovely person has said, I'm proud of my friends for helping me with some of my work. My work was on one of the PowerPoints, excellent achievement. Choosing my options. I'm proud of myself for getting out of bed and trying to do some work. Motivating myself. So you can see from these responses, it's really important to celebrate every victory. It's not about getting 100% in a maths test. It might just be, I did more work than I did yesterday, or I managed to go to a live lesson today when I've been too scared to before. So make sure that you're celebrating those victories. Okay, mental health, hugely important. So I asked you, what have you done to look after your mental health this week? And a staggering 46 of you are incredibly healthy because you've been exercising. And in fact, I made a couple of phone calls this week, and the people that I spoke to said, oh yeah, I just got back from an 1.5-hour run. Casual, as you do. So really well done. Really important to kind of get those endorphins going. Lots of you have been in touch with your friends, which again is brilliant. Really important to try and maintain those connections during this really strange time. And lots of you have been listening to music or playing music or dancing, and plenty of others as well. And again, some of the other options where I've tried doing these things and I'm still struggling. And although that's not ideal, it's absolutely understandable. You're not alone. So please continue to be honest with us and keep in touch. It's really important, and we really do appreciate your honesty there as well. Again, I'll talk about some of the things you can do to maybe help that over the next few slides. Okay, so managing your workload. Obviously, a lot of you said that you hadn't been able to do 5 periods a day. So the first thing is to make a start. And I know that sounds hugely obvious, but actually when you're on Go for Schools and you look at that massive list and you haven't checked much off, it's really quite overwhelming. Like visually, looking at that amount of things is overwhelming, and it would be for anyone. So if you are someone that hasn't been able to do much work so far, what I suggest you do from Monday is have a look at Monday's lessons and prioritise those. For the time being, anything else outstanding from last week or before can kind of go to the back of your mind. You can mentally put that to one side and just focus on getting Monday's work done. And hopefully that will make it seem a little bit more manageable. My second tip to you would be to follow your timetable as much as you can. Now, I know we all have different home circumstances. Some people are in mini school, so that's not always possible. But if you are able to, try to stick to your timetable. Thirdly, join live lessons if you can. It's really, really important if you're struggling with the work, join the live lessons because the teacher can help you. And what I've said to some of my students, if I know that they're a bit anxious to join, because it's a different way of working and we're not used to it, is I've said, if you are confident, you can put your hand up, press your little icon and you can talk. If you're a little bit less confident, you can always type it in the chat. And if all of that is way too public, just send me an email instead and then no one else can see it. But it's really important that students make that contact. I'd also make sure you're having regular breaks. So it's not the same as school when you're stuck in a classroom for an hour. If you're working from home and there's other things distracting you, it can be really difficult to concentrate for that length of time. So give yourself regular breaks. Don't feel like you have to do an hour's chunk at a time because it just might not be feasible for you. And another really important thing is contact your teachers if you need extra support. Obviously, Miss Gillard and I are here for you as well, but feel free to email your teachers and say, hi, I know you set the work for Monday, I'm actually really struggling with it. We're not that scary and we will be understanding. Okay, I asked some of you a few weeks ago what your top tips were for working from home, and this is what some people said. So listen to music in the background. A good thing to do is to avoid music with lyrics because then you're not distracted listening to what people are actually saying. It doesn't just have to be classical music, although why not? Keep in touch with friends and family, give yourself breaks, don't give up. Once you've finished a piece of work, drink some water, have a snack, and then go back and check it. Schedule out your day so you're not rushing. Spend time with family. Don't let yourself get stressed over work and ask for help if you need it. Do something fun at break and lunch or when you're not doing something instead of going on your phone. Exercise. Do things at your own pace and get a good night's sleep. Really good advice. Okay, so my last slide for today is just about options because I know a lot of you have been emailing me, emailing Miss Gillard, talking to your tutors about what you're going to do. Stop panicking. It's absolutely fine. So have a look through the options booklet. Everything's available on the school website. And at some point this week, Mr. Butterworth will be sending out a link to you so that you can make your final choices ready for February the 4th. Miss Singleton has sent some really, really helpful resources through as well. So try the following quiz. I did it because I couldn't resist. And it took less than 5 minutes, but it tells you what sort of person you are, how you react to things, what your best way of working is, and even some suggested career paths as well. Teacher came up for me, what a surprise. The second website that Miss Singleton has shared is to have a look at job roles which link to school subjects. So for example, if you take history, what jobs could that lead to? And then the final one is to look up any careers that you'd like some more information on at that website, National Careers. But equally, have a look through that options booklet again. It gives you tons of information. And if you do have any questions, email us, email your tutors, let us know. But the most important thing for today is look after yourselves, make sure you're looking after your mental health, be kind to yourself, and get in touch if you need some support. We miss seeing your faces. All right, take care. Have a lovely, lovely week.